Hi, this is Jack with Puget Sound Fly Company, and today we're on the Puget Sound fishing for sea run cutthroat, and we're talking about different setups that you can use out here. This setup here that I got is a 591 Sage X, which is a 9-foot 5 weight with a fighting butt, and I've got the Lamson Force 2, which is a 5-6 weight size, and then I've got the Rio Outbound Short in a full intermediate. The nice part about the Outbound Short is that it's a little bit more aggressive short shooting head, and so it's a little bit easier to get those quick casts out into the water. Today we're talking about the Sage Foundation in the 4-weight size, 9-foot length, for beach fishing out here in the Puget Sound. I've got the Scientific Anglers Sync 30 Cold in the 200 grain size on here with a Galvin Brookie 4.5. That way it's nice and lightweight when you're casting all day. This rod's a fantastic rod, stout enough to turn over big flies, but not too much rod for these smaller cutthroat out here in the Sound. A couple other rods that we didn't get to fish out there today that are worth mentioning for a great rod in the Sound are this g.loomis IMX Pro in the 9-foot 6-inch 6-weight size. That extra 6 inches will give you some really good lift off the beach, so that way you're not banging your flies off the rocks behind you as much, and is plenty stout enough to land any salmon that are coming through the Sound outside of Chinook and chum. And will easily turn over pretty big sized bugs, but isn't too much rod for smaller cutthroat. Another rod that we didn't get to out on the water today would be the Echo Base 9-foot 6-weight. This rod is a fantastic entry-level rod if you're just getting into fishing the Sound. The rod comes in at only $90 and is great with a lifetime warranty from a company called Echo, which is just down in Vancouver. So their warranty process is really easy for us here in Washington. It's a stout enough rod that it'll turn over big bugs for those Sound fish, but it's also versatile enough that you can fish just about any trout with it. Some other reels that we didn't get to out on the water today would be this Lamson Guru. This one here is in the 2 size, and this is a fantastic fully sealed conical drag system, so it's totally fine to use out in the salt water. This is fully machined, made in America, just over in Idaho, and these are some of the most durable, reliable reels that we sell. We hardly ever get them back for warranty, and in my opinion, the coolest part about them is that inside of this drag system, this small bearing here is really all that you ever have to replace if anything does go wrong with the drag system, and we carry a bunch of spares here, and so you can very easily make the switch to a new bearing and be set to get back out on the water. Another reel that I'm a huge fan of out in the saltwater is this Lamson Liquid in the 2 size as well for 5-6 weight rods. It's a really nice fully sealed drag reel, same exact conical sealed drag as the last reel, the Guru. Some of the other lines that we wanted to talk about are the Rio Coastal Quick Shooter. This is probably my favorite of the all-around taper fly lines. So this is a full intermediate. It's not as aggressive as the Outbound Short, but it's not as delicate as some other fly lines. It's got enough of a shooting head that it really easily loads most rods, but it's not so bulky that it gets blown all over the place through the wind. That's really the benefit to this line over the Outbound Short, is that you can cast for more distance with this because it's a longer head, and it also cuts through the wind a little bit better. The InTouch striper line is a fantastic option for guys looking to fish out of the boat because you're trying to follow the contour of the Sound downward whereas when you're fishing from the beach, you're trying to follow that contour upward. So fishing a fast sinking line tends to be a lot more effective when you're fishing from the boat because it gets down to those fish. The In-Touch striper is my favorite because it's got a taper to it, so it casts a lot nicer than most full sink lines. And it also is really user friendly because it's a short aggressive head that turns over really well. I like the 250 grain size on most 6 weights or even the 7 weight, 300 on most 8 weights for when you're fishing for chums or kings or larger coho. Lastly, I wanted to touch on the Rio Mainstream Full Intermediate. This is a great option if you're just getting into the sound because it comes in at a much lower price point than most of the other lines. It won't be as slick, it won't last as long, and it won't cast quite as far. But if you're just looking to get into the sport, it's a great budget-friendly line that does a great job out in the sound.